October 6th, 1981, me and 20 other people were sitting in a conference room in Chicago, waiting and excited about getting started in the futures business. We were gung-ho, we were going to be commodity brokers. When one of the speakers walked into the room, he says, within 1 year, half of you are no longer going to be in business. Within 2 years, there's only going to be 5 of you left in business. And within 5 years, there's only going to be 1 of you left in a business. I'm the survivor, and pretty happy about it, because it's been a wonderful ride. And as I looked around that room, I seen there was some really smart people in that room. There were people that had sales experience in that room, and there were better looking people than I were. But I had the need to survive in this business and to thrive. I had a wife, 3 children, and no job. I grew up in Southern Illinois in a small farming community. I went to Southern Illinois University at Carbondale, graduated with an animal science degree of all things, and went to work after college at a purebred cattle operation up here in Northern Illinois. Just enjoying life, working out on the farm, doing what I wanted to do, raising livestock, and then the unforeseen happened. Interest rates went up, tax laws changed, and the purebred cattle business ended. So I had to find another job. At that point, I said to myself, I am going to take a job that I get paid for the effort that I do and the amount of work that I do. And with that, I looked around, asked a lot of questions, and the futures industry was where it was for me. I said, I have got to become a futures broker. So after getting over the shock of this speaker, we went through about 3 weeks of training. I went back to a branch office out in Harvard, Illinois, which is just west of Chicago here, and realized I didn't know anything about the commodity business. So how am I going to learn more? So I said, I've got to ask questions. I asked a neighbor of mine, was a broker down at the Chicago Board of Trade. He said, oh, Paul, it's easy. Don't worry about it. You just buy low, sell high, or you can even buy high and sell higher. That's how you make money in this business. Oh, that sounds pretty good. So then I asked other brokers in the office, and they said, just do whatever the customer wants. If you see a hot trade, one guy wants it, tell the next guy, he'd probably do it. So I said, that doesn't sound very good either. So I decided that I needed to ask questions. And I tell you today, and if anything, that as you go forward in your career, ask questions, because that's what I had to do. I had to ask questions, but I asked questions of prospects that I had, and phone numbers that I had of people, and I asked them, what do they want? What can I provide you as a service in order for you to do business with me? And that's how I built my business. After struggling through the futures business for about 2 years, a friend of mine was working down in Chicago at a trading firm. He lived out where I did, and he said, let's start our own business. Let's start our own IB. And I thought about it about that long, and I said, let's do it. Because industry was changing. There was always excitement going on in the futures industry. At that time, the NFA was the new regulator in town. They were making new rules and regulations for the entire commodity industry. And there was change happening. And FCMs no longer wanted branch offices, they wanted introducing brokers. We started an introducing broker called Allendale in 1983. It was the best thing that I did. Well, next to the best thing that I did after marrying my wife. But it gave me the opportunity to grow and to be creative. And as you are sitting here today and thinking about what is your career going to be like, it's never forget about the creativity that you've got in you. We've been able to find business. After we started our IB, now we had to find customers. And believe it or not, in 1983, there was no internet. There was no cell phones. We had to figure out how to make contact with customers that didn't know us. So we started doing meetings, putting on seminars in our office, and we were teaching charting, believe it or not. Nowadays, you click a button and you've got a chart. We actually had to draw lines on a graph, and a line on the right where it closed, a line on the left where it opened, and we had to explain that to customers because they knew nothing about how important charting and patterns were to the marketplace. Today, there's tremendous opportunity for you in the futures industry. But we did that, and we had to build relationships. And as you go through your career, you're going to find that you need to build relationships as well. You have got to build relationships with, as we did, with customers, first of all, but then how do you get new customers? So we built relationships with other people that were dealing with customers like ours. Like, we were focused on agriculture. We were focused on helping the farmer become a better marketer. And by doing that, we were able to focus on seed corn companies and other companies in the industry. And building relationships, going out, doing speaking, and touching people, as I call it. Today, you've got tremendous opportunity to touch people. You've got instant messaging, emails, Snapchat, you name it. There's all kinds of ways that you can do and touch people today, where we only had really one way, and that was to go out and meet them, and then we'd have to come back and call them on their landline that they were only in the house at night. Believe that or not, this is not a fairy tale, guys. But we did it. And we were able to build relationships and build customers and grow our business through that type of touching people. The other thing that you need is integrity and honesty. When you ask customers what do they want the most, they want a broker and somebody that's honest. Because there is such a fast-moving pace in our business, you have to communicate what you're doing for that customer. We build our customer base around doing and helping that customer become a better marketer. That has been the goal of ours when we started our IB. We want to help producers become better marketers. And in order to do that, you have to communicate. You have to show them how and what you're suggesting, what you're doing, how it can be beneficial to you. One of the most exciting things that we have done, and success stories, I guess, with Allendale, is we opened 300 accounts in 1 month back in the late 90s when there was some cell phones available at that point in time. But we were able to build a relationship, and I talk about building a relationship. It was the key to our success. That put us over the top in the industry because we were able to communicate with as many people. And all we did was be creative in a small way. We created a spreadsheet that we could show a farmer what type of crop insurance he should buy, what type of futures positions he should put on, and what type of option positions he should put on. And we could tell him what his return per acre was and how much money he was going to make and how he was going to be able to survive as a farmer, as a producer. So with that bit of relationship building, we went to other companies. We went to other insurance companies, crop insurance companies, and helped them bring people in that we could get to meet and share our thoughts. We also took a different approach in marketing where I don't look at it as a sale. We weren't selling something. We had this spreadsheet. We asked the farmer, what does he want to put? What is his inputs? Fill it out, show him the numbers, and said, do you want to do it or not? Why don't you want to do it? Why doesn't it work for you? And he did it, and that was how we built our huge customer base in a short period of time. It was a move that enabled us to take the next step. And why? Because of the relationship building and the integrity that we brought to the table. So in summary, what I would like to share with you today, the real focus and the thing that I want you to take with you is that you need to have passion about your job, no matter what it is. If it's an algo trader, if it's quants, if it's trading for yourself, building your own models, you have to have passion about your work. The other thing is you need to focus on your goals. You need to have a goal. And so many people that we hire, and they don't have goals. Well, what do you want to do with your life? I don't know. Have a goal and focus on that goal as you go through your career. And another thing is give it all the effort that you possibly can. Because when you have passion and you have the goal and you have the effort, you will be successful. One of the other things that is probably the most important is to dream. And you've heard that in other speakers today. Dream about what you want. Have the creativity to move forward in your career, because you need to dream big, because your future starts with you. Thank you.